In 2024, the average American went to the movie theaters just 3 times a week. For a decade, the frequency of theater visits has been a slow, grinding decline, accelerated by a streaming industry that spent billions to convince us that the best seat in the house was our own couch. We became a culture that defaults on waiting. We see a trailer for a mid-budget drama or an original thriller, and the immediate internal calculation isn't, when can I see this, but how long until it's on Netflix. But by early 2026, the numbers began to tell a different story. AMC Stubs A-List passed its million-member milestone. Cinemark's Movie Club hit 1 million active subscribers, with its members attending theaters 3 times more often than the average person. Regal Unlimited saw similar surges. Theaters are no longer selling tickets to individual movies. They're selling access to habit. They've stopped trying to compete with streaming on a per-movie basis and have instead adapted the very subscription model that almost destroyed them. Something fundamental is changing in how people decide to leave their homes for a movie. Streaming did more than just offer convenience. It rewired the consumer's risk assessment. When every movie requires a $15 to $20 ticket, plus the friction of travel and parking, the cost of a mistake is high. If a movie is disappointing, you haven't just lost 2 hours. You've lost the price of a steak dinner. This created a blockbuster-only economy. Audiences became unwilling to gamble their money on anything that wasn't a guaranteed spectacle. Mid-budget dramas, original comedies, and experimental films, the connective tissue of the film industry, were the first casualties. They became streaming movies by default, not because they were low quality, but because the financial risk of seeing them in a theater felt too high. Streaming trained us to be passive. It turned moviegoing into a special occasion rather than a weekly routine. To fight back, the major chains stopped acting like landlords and started acting like platforms. AMC Stubs A-List, Regal Unlimited, and Cinemark Movie Club are the 3 pillars of this new strategy. AMC's model is the most aggressive. For a flat monthly fee, typically between $25 and $28, members can see up to 4 movies every single week. Crucially, this includes premium formats like IMAX and Dolby at no extra charge. If you see just 2 premium movies in a month, the subscription has already paid for itself. Cinemark takes a different approach, targeting the moderate viewer. The Movie Club offers 1 ticket credit per month that rolls over if unused, along with a 20% discount on concessions. It's a light subscription designed to reduce friction for people who want to go to the movies but need a nudge to do it. These programs don't just sell tickets, they remove the barrier of the transaction. When the money has already left your bank account at the start of the month, the price of seeing a movie on a Tuesday night feels like zero. You aren't buying a ticket, you're utilizing a resource you've already paid for. Once the marginal cost of a movie drops to zero, guests' behavior shifts overnight. You stop asking if this movie is worth $15, and you start asking, what am I going to use my membership on this week? Within 7 weeks of launching A-List, AMC found that subscribers already accounted for over 5% of their total weekly attendance. More importantly, these members weren't just watching the big superhero sequels. They watched over 360 different titles in the first 3 months. Once I had a subscription, my own behavior changed in exactly this way. I watched more movies in theaters than I ever had before, including films I normally would have skipped, like the intense Korean drama The Housemaid, the experimental Marty Supreme, or even a re-release of Anaconda. This is the sunk cost psychology at work. Because I've already paid for the month, I feel a psychological pressure to get my money's worth. I become more adventurous. I take risks on weird, original, or foreign films because the penalty for a bad movie is gone. I'm already there, the seat is already paid for, and the popcorn is 20% off. This shift provides theaters with something they've lacked for a century: predictable, reoccurring revenue. In the old model, a theater's survival depended on whether Hollywood delivered a hit that month. If the movies were bad, the theater went broke. Subscriptions smooth out those valleys. 1 million members paying $25 a month is $25 million in guaranteed revenue before a single bag of popcorn is sold. It also creates a companion effect. AMC data shows that 40% of A-List subscribers brought a full-price paying guest with them. The subscription acts as a social catalyst, dragging non-members back into the theater ecosystem. For the movies themselves, this is a lifeline. Subscriptions give original films legs. A movie that might have flopped in its first weekend can find an audience in weeks 3 and 4 because subscribers are looking for something new to watch. It creates a discovery engine that mimics the Netflix recommended bar, but with the prestige and immersion of a dark room and a massive screen. Theaters are finally understanding that they aren't just selling a movie, they're selling an experience that requires a habit to sustain. By adopting the subscription model, they are counter-training viewers away from the wait for streaming default. They are making movie-going a routine again. When you have an app on your phone telling you that you have 3 more movies left this week, the couch feels less like a sanctuary and more like a missed opportunity. Theaters didn't beat streaming with better movies. They beat it by changing how we decide to watch them. They replaced the high-stakes gamble of a $20 ticket with the frictionless ease of a monthly pass, turning the cinema back into a community hub instead of an expensive luxury. If you want to understand the economics behind why theaters can afford to do this, how they make record profits even with fewer admissions, click the video on your screen right now. That video explains the business model that makes all of this possible.